Hi there, my darling Sagittarians. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to your reading for the week of September the 8th, 2025. So, my darling Sagittarians, we're just going to jump right in and start off with an overarching energy using the Psychic Tarot by John Holland. Then we'll move on to my 3-card spread using my tarot cards here, and then we will finish off with angel answer cards. All right, my darling Sagittarians, let us see what messages we've got coming in for you. What does Sagittarius need to know this week, September the 8th? Patience and planning, my darling Sagittarians. So this week for you could be all about patience and planning. So we are coming into eclipse season. So we just had that eclipse in Pisces. So be aware that that energy can last weeks, months. We've also got another eclipse in the opposite sign of Pisces in Virgo on the 21st. So there's a lot of eclipse type of energy coming up, my darling Sagittarians. So what I'm feeling for you is that you're being encouraged to use this time for patience and planning, my darling Sagittarians. All right, let us consult the tarot and see what messages we've got coming in for you, my darling Sagittarians. What does Sagittarius need to know for this week of September the 8th, 2025? Lovers. Ten of Pentacles. Love it. There's your planning. Yeah, love it. All right, my darling Sagittarian. So what I'm going to do is give you the meaning of each of the cards, and then I'm going to intuitively put the reading together for you. So you start off here with the Lovers card. So this is Gemini energy. So if you have Gemini in your chart at all, I would encourage you to go and watch the Gemini reading. But the Lovers is all about some kind of choice or decision to make, my darling Sagittarians. I don't feel that this is about love, my darling Sagittarians, although it could be, if you have a partner, then that certainly could be about, some decision you make. I feel it's more material and financial here, just with the patience and planning. Ten of Pentacles, that's just sort of what I feel. But love is always open to us. But what I feel this, is more saying, my darling Sagittarians, is that you have a choice or a decision that you need to make regarding your long-term financial security, your long-term financial plan, something like that. In the traditional tarot, there's a man and a woman on this card, and there is a mountain in between them. There is clouds. There is an angel, and then the sun is over the angel. In the traditional tarot, the mountain between them represented just that, some kind of mountain, some kind of obstacle between them. It was often called the choice card, my darling Sagittarians, in the traditional tarot. So what I feel is that you've come to some kind of crossroads here in making a decision about your long-term financial plan, security, whatever that is. I feel that something is testing that, if that makes sense, my darling Sagittarians. I feel that you're being, you've come to the crossroads, but you're being tested as to which way you go. Do you go this way or that way? I'm drawn to the 2 pillars on that patience and planning too, that it kind of reminds me of the 2 of Wands, where you're sort of coming, which way do you want to go? That kind of energy, my darling Sagittarians. That's sort of what I'm feeling off here. I do feel that there's some choice or a decision that you need to make. Because then you've got the Ten of Pentacles, which is a beautiful card of long-term financial success and security. You can see, here, this beautiful garden that has been tended to. This is the outcome of the Ace of Pentacles. So we've gone from the Ace to the 10. You see the garden on the Ace of Pentacles. That's the opportunity that you're given through, going through the Pentacle suit. The whole whole end goal here is to grow this beautiful garden, my darling Sagittarians. This is the end goal. I like to think of this. These are her these. He's the old man, the father. These are his daughters. This is what he has built. This is the legacy that he has built for his daughters, for his family, my darling Sagittarians, and this is what he's leaving behind. And I feel that we're all working towards some kind of Ten of Pentacles, my darling Sagittarians. This is our end goal. This is where we all want, the financial and material success and stability, and just that kind of feeling of not having to worry about any of that when we get older, my darling Sagittarians. And I feel through that requires patience and planning. So I feel that you're being encouraged to make that decision towards planning for, this long-term wealth and security here, my darling Sagittarians. This card literally is building and leaving a legacy. What will you leave behind, my darling Sagittarians? So, I feel that this is what you're sort of working towards. It makes sense with the patience and planning and the Ten of Pentacles here, because like I said, this is the long term. This is the result of your patience and planning, my darling Sagittarians. And then you have the Seven of Wands. So I feel here that you're being tested here, that your beliefs and ideas are being tested here, my darling Sagittarians, because the Seven of Wands is a card of conviction. It's like when you know that something is for you. And I feel that you're being encouraged, my darling Sagittarians, to stand your ground, to really put yourself behind your ideas, my darling Sagittarians, to, have the courage of your convictions. Stand your ground, put yourself behind your choices is what popped into my head, my darling Sagittarians. So whatever the choice is that you need to make off that Lover's card, you need to make sure that you're behind yourself 100%, my darling Sagittarians, that you follow through with whatever it is that you're wanting to put into planning, patience, and whatever it is that you're wanting to plan for your future, my darling Sagittarians. You need to have the courage of your convictions, my darling Sagittarians. That's what I feel is off this Seven of Wands cards. So like I said, if I'm going to put it all together, I feel that this week for you is really going to be all about, you're going to be thinking about your long-term financial security, my darling Sagittarians. And I feel it's going to be a good week for you to do that, because it's here in the cards. You've got, the card of patience and planning. It's, you've got the energy, so work with it, my darling Sagittarians. I feel that there is a choice that you need to make in regards to your long-term financial security, my darling Sagittarians. So take that how it resonates. But I feel that your ideas are being challenged and you're feeling defensive about that. But I feel you need to have the courage of your convictions. Stand up for yourself. Stand by your ideas, because this is what you're working towards. This is your outcome, my darling Sagittarians. This beautiful Ten of Pentacles here. So, yeah, love it. This is what I feel you're working towards this week, my darling Sagittarians. So if you're enjoying the reading so far, please do give it a thumbs up for me. I'd love to know if this resonates with you. And I'm very active and interactive in the comments. So if you've got an idea about this, you see something that I can't, chuck it in the comments. I don't mind at all. I'd love to start a dialogue about what you can see here. All right, let's get final messages for you, my darling Sagittarians. Recovery, yeah. You may need to take some time if you're feeling that that you're having to fight to have your ideas heard. You may need to take some time, my darling Sagittarians. You can't make this up. Here it is. Here's the card of abundance. This week for you, I feel, is you putting in place your long-term financial security. My darling Sagittarians, peaceful resolution. So whatever you're putting into planning, my darling Sagittarians, this week, I feel that there will be a peaceful resolution. I feel that you will come to peace with the ideas that you're wanting to put out there. Within the next few weeks, they say, there's something better. Yes, there is, my darling Sagittarians. I feel this for you. I could feel it as soon as I put these cards down with the patience and planning. And as soon as I put down that Ten of Pentacles, I was like, yeah, I know what this is. So there is definitely something better coming in for you this week, my darling Sagittarians. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I'll be back again soon.